This is called Gary Sanford's Slow Speed Cycling Seminar. Let's say that 5 times fast. Somebody on my Goldwing Facebook page shared this, and it looks like a Honda Goldwing skills class almost. Like, it looks really interesting, and I kind of want to just get my first reaction to this, and who knows, maybe we can even try out some of these skills in a later video or something. It's only a 10-minute long video, and it looks old, so anything that's like vintage OG Goldwing, I just love to see, and I just think it's fun to share that on the channel with you guys. So this is on YouTube. Gary Sanford uploaded this. Shout out to him. So it was uploaded 10 years ago. My slow riding seminar from 2000 on a GL 1500. This was filmed and edited by my good friend and the late Lance Lewis. Shout out to Lance Lewis. That's awesome. That's super cool. Okay, well, thank you, Gary Sanford, for uploading this. We're gonna do you justice. Again, for Gary Sanford's Slow Speed Cycling Seminar. Look at that red GL 1500. Man, that white helmet. Ooh.
Hi, I'm Gary Sanford. Thanks for your interest in my Slow Speed Cycling Seminar. This video is intended to give you a little more control of your motorcycle at slow speed situations.
I don't want to cut that off, but check out, you see that windshield? My windshield is way bigger than that. I need a new windshield, but yeah. I want to do Goldwing better at slow speeds. I know air pressure is a big thing, and I really need a new rear tire, but we'll get to that.
Every ride begins and ends in a parking lot, and generally has some slow speed traffic situations in between. With a little practice, you'll be able to handle your motorcycle a little better in these situations. Your personal riding education should be a never-ending process.
You see that camera change over there? I need to throw that into some of my videos. Look at that seat. That's a nice seat, too.
Every time I ride, I practice my slow speed control, and I hope you will too. I also encourage you to take an experienced rider course every year.
The experienced rider course he's talking about, that is so cool. It looks like he's teaching one, and they're all on Goldwings. That is so cool. I would love to do that. I have done the experienced rider course one time. When you're active duty military, you would need to take it at least every 3 years. And for your insurance, for your discount on insurance, you actually need to take the advanced course every 3 years to keep your discount on your insurance too. Typically, insurance is so cheap, people don't care about it too much, but I will be taking an advanced course, maybe not this summer, but I'll be taking an advanced course and recording the entire thing, doing it on my GL 1500, I don't know, maybe on my 1100, who knows when I have that, but I'm going to do the entire thing on video. It's going to be a lot of fun. Sorry about the pausing.
If you're taking one, it can help you more than you can imagine.
So as they say in the MSF, rider course, there's one for sport bikes, one for cruisers, and you do it on your own motorcycle, which is really helpful. Really, really helpful.
The more you know, the better it gets. Most of you won't be able to use these techniques that I'm about to show you right away. The techniques work, but I can't make them work for you. It will require a lot of practice by you to make them work. If there's one key word associated with riding slowly with control, it's smooth. In the MSF course, we learned there are 4 key words associated with curves.
As fast as smooth, smooth as fast, or whatever. It's the non-smooth, you know, the hitting the brake in a corner, the whipping the throttle in the corner. That's, you know, I'm actually a driver's education instructor as well. That's something we talk about all the time.
Slow, look, lean, roll. The perfect speed for entering a curve is one that allows you to roll on the throttle throughout the curve. The reason for that is that it stabilizes the motorcycle, makes it smooth. And smooth is a key factor for riding slowly with control.
Having enough speed.
Another very important thing to consider is you must look where you want to go.
Question. This was the year 2000, right? I wonder how he's getting this footage. It might be somebody riding passenger holding a camera, honestly. You know, I'm glad we live in an era, even though I'm still using a 2009 GoPro. They work really well. This guy did not have access to that. But yeah, of course, you look where you want to go, right?
In a turn, you must look to the exit of the turn. This is very important at slow speed. You must turn your head and look in the direction you want to go. Co-riders, you must also look in the direction of the turn. Most training centers offer the ERC 2-up. I highly recommend it.
Wow. I've never heard of that. Doing the advanced rider course 2-up and doing the entire course 2-up. Me and my brother Zach, that would be really, really fun. Okay, handlebar adjustments. Okay.
The next thing I want to talk about is the controls of the motorcycle and basically the handlebars. The way the handlebars come adjusted from the factory is they're generally set too high. The 1500 Goldwing has quite a bit of adjustability in the handlebars as far as
I did not know you could adjust the handlebars at all. And where his are kind of looks like where mine are already, though. Maybe mine have already been adjusted down.
There are 4 bolts that hold the handlebars to the steering stem that are underneath the switch cover. By removing the switch cover and the small cover that covers the handlebars, you gain access to those 4 bolts. If you've been riding for about 45 minutes and you notice that there's a pain between your shoulder blades, generally means your handlebars are too high. They're not comfortable. Lowering the handlebars will help that considerably and also gain you a good bit of control over.
I don't know, some people think higher handlebars are more comfortable, and it's actually one of the reasons I really enjoy the Goldwing, because the handlebars are kind of out here and I'm not needing to lean forward at all with them too low. Yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't even know you could adjust them like that.
Over the motorcycle. I've noticed that generally when the handlebars are in a good position for the rider, the forearm is in a level position.
Okay, makes sense.
Sit on your motorcycle on the center stand, relax your shoulders, and then look to see the position of your forearms. They should be basically level with the ground. If they're not, if they're kind of up like that, your handlebars are too high.
Your handlebars.
Loosen those 4 bolts and then position the handlebars to where they feel comfortable and your forearms are basically level.
Let's go to the throttle adjustment.
After you adjust it, turn the handle.
Throttle adjustment.
The next control I want to talk about is the throttle. Generally, when the motorcycle is produced, there's a lot of slack in the throttle cables, and you've got a lot of slack in your throttle right here. Now mine is adjusted pretty good where I have very little slack. That's free play in there before the throttle actually starts opening. The throttle cable right here has an adjustment.
I didn't know about that. I know.
And you can adjust this and take the slack out of it. Now you've got to be careful not to take all the slack out or your throttle will bind. You should be able to open the throttle and release it and let it snap back. If it doesn't, it's binding and you've got the cable too tight. Now once again, if you're not comfortable doing this yourself.
Like, of course, you want to be able to just loosen your grip on the throttle. You want it to be able to go back, and in a pinch. It's kind of like when I'm teaching driver's ed and I teach them about letting the wheel return to the middle on its own. When you're kind of in a bind, it's sometimes in your brain you don't think about, oh, I need to forcibly put the throttle back, right? And sometimes if you buy a really old bike, it's been sitting out for a while, that's something you might need to adjust. Sometimes the throttle will get stuck.
Or you're not mechanically inclined, get your mechanic to do this for you. He knows how to do it. Just get a little bit of slack in there and it'll be much easier to control your motorcycle.
Controlling the here we go. Here's the
The rider basically has 3 points of contact with which he controls the motorcycle. The hand grips on the handlebars, the foot pegs for the feet, and of course the seat.
So, okay, if you notice, he has a backrest just like I do. My backrest, I think it's broken because right there, you're supposed to be able to like tighten that and scooch it forward. And of course, his seat is absolutely beautiful. But I am going to be upgrading to a road sofa seat. It's pretty pricey, but I'm trying to get it this year. And it'll have a built-in backrest, kind of like the newer 2018 Goldwings have, and it looks absolutely incredible. I cannot wait to get that seat and show it to you guys. And I'm going to do an entire video on motorcycle backrests eventually.
The handlebars control the directional steering of the motorcycle. The foot pegs and feet give you stability, and it's important to keep your feet on the foot pegs, especially at slow speed. If you don't, you lose stability.
By the way,
and then there's the seat. You'll be surprised at how...
caveat. Part of this is, it's fun listening to what he's saying, yes, but it's also fun just really, like, you don't get to see videos or modern day productions of my bike, and I just love seeing this from the year 2000. Mind you, this is the last year the GL 1500 was produced, and it had been getting made for 13 years at that point, so there's a lot of 1500s out on the road, and of course very pricey at that time too. Like in modern day dollars, the special edition GL 1500 back then was like $38,000 in today money. It's actually more expensive than the top of the line DCT model is now, but the white coloring, oh man, it's just so beautiful. And mind you, this bike might only be a couple years old at that time. Absolutely beautiful.
At how much control you have of the motorcycle, especially at slow speeds, using the seat. I can get the motorcycle rocking and control it very well,
you should be able to ride
just
down
using
the road,
the seat.
take your hands off the bars, and you should actually be able to steer through a turn only using your seat. That is possible.
At slow speeds, you can use body English through the seat to fine-tune your directional control.
Okay. Rear brake only. Okay, okay. You guys listening? Rear brake only. Take down notes. Are you guys writing this down?
This is the part of the seminar where I show you the techniques that you'll be using to control your motorcycle at slow speed. Remember, we said that smooth is the key. You've got too much power available in first gear to use your throttle to control your speed. So you've got to use the rear brake, not the front.
A lot of times, like, you're using the rear brake, like you're giving it throttle, you're giving it a little bit of clutch, and sometimes you're also dragging your rear brake too. And sometimes your rear brake can kind of like stabilize you during those curves. So it's all of your power deliveries, not just in your throttle hand. That's very, very hard to do. I'm sure he's going to cover it better than I ever could. I do hope to be able to go to a motorcycle safety instructor course eventually and become certified. That would be pretty awesome. And of course, I would teach my class using my Goldwing every time. Stay tuned for that, guys, if you want to support me in my journey of becoming a safety instructor after nursing school.
Front brake, the rear brake. I'm going to be using just a slight amount of throttle, just enough to let me travel the speed that I want to maneuver with. I'm going to use the rear brake to control my speed.
Keeping it nice and steady on the throttle.
I give it a little brake and it pulls me into the turn. I let go and it pulls me out.
Okay, okay.
Brake pulls you in.
Interesting. So he's saying like he's kind of giving steady throttle and he touches the rear brake and it puts him into the turn. That's really fascinating. I've never heard it explained that way before.
Less brake pulls you out. Remember, you want to look where you want to go. Yep, look to the exit of the turn. Slight amount of throttle. Control your speed with the rear brake. If you've got too much throttle, it's going to require too much brake and it's going to sound like this. You can hear the engine straining against the brakes.
I've definitely heard that.
Too much throttle requires too much brake. Slight amount of throttle, and that lets you use just a slight amount of brake. Now, if you start to fall into the turn, you're going to fall over, let go of the brake, and it'll pull you out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's a really cool technique. Next time I'm doing some slow speed maneuvers, I may even do a video on some slow speed, like kind of like what he's doing. I may do a video on like slow speed Honda Goldwing maneuvers for new Honda Goldwing riders. I don't know if I'm quite experienced the level to be able to teach really experienced riders how to even ride better, but yeah, that's a technique I'm going to try, and I'm going to try to implement into my daily riding. Because releasing that rear brake takes you out of the turn. With the Goldwing, I did take the I did do the advanced rider course with my 1200 Goldwing, and I actually did really well, and the instructor gave me a lot of kudos for how good I did. And the 1200 is smaller though. So when I'm in a parking lot and I'm doing some figure eights on my 1800, I don't know, sometimes I'm a little bit nervous, and with my rear tire right now, I'm really needing to get it replaced. It makes me a little bit nervous too. It might be squishier than it should be.
Look where you want to go. Locked throttle, lock it in place with your wrist, and use your brakes to control your speed. When you're turning, you can also use a technique called counterbalancing,
on a really
where you can
heavy
sit
bike too. That's very important.
over on the side of the motorcycle, on the outside of the turn, and you've got a lot more control of the motorcycle when you're sitting on top of it like this.
Look how low he is.
Once again, I'm using a locked throttle, and I'm controlling my speed with the rear brake, but I'm sitting on top of the motorcycle. Makes that slow speed turning a lot easier to do.
He's really good.
If you change your turn, move over to the top side of the bike.
I need to practice that too. I need to move my butt a little bit more.
Look where you want to go. Slight amount of throttle.
Of course, the counterbalancing
Easy, smooth
is super
braking.
important while going really slow. If you have a little bit more speed with it, typically you don't need to. But that's really more of a really slow speed kind of thing. And I don't know, sometimes with the Goldwing, it's very easy to avoid ever needing to use those skills. So it is good to maintain those skills for when you do need to use them, so you don't drop the bike, especially if you have a passenger.
Now, if you have to go slower than what you can run at a small amount of throttle, you want to. The technique is to still use a small amount of throttle, lock it in place with the wrist, and use just a little bit of clutch to where it'll slip. Still, you're going to control your speed with the brake.
This is one of those things about motorcycling, right? And it's why it takes time to learn. So he's talking about these slow speed maneuvers. He's using the throttle, the clutch, and the right rear brake, and he's moving his body, and he's looking in the corner, right? And he has his arms positioned. You're using 3 of your limbs and your entire body to make that turn, and that takes muscle memory to develop. And it's one of the reasons why motorcycling is so much fun. Like, it's a skill you're developing, and you're so much more like in control of the machine than you are in a car. You know, especially like I said, I teach driver's ed, and in a car it's like, okay, well, you'll look, control the brake and the acceleration, but you're just turning the wheel. That's it. Like, you're turning the wheel like this, slowly loosen the wheel so it returns back, and it doesn't challenge you, and it doesn't, like, I don't know, it's just a lot different. Like, being on a motorcycle is a totally different feeling. It's so much better.
Enough clutch out where it will pull the motorcycle, but not enough to where it won't let you stop.
That's really slow maneuver. Look at that.
Almost stop.
Really good.
I can let go of the brake, and I've got enough clutch to pull me out. I've got locked throttle and locked clutch, controlling my speed with the rear brake, looking where I want to go.
Yeah, this guy's
now using the same technique in a straight line. This is where that body English through the seat comes into play I was telling you about. Once again, locked throttle.
One of the things I want to do in the future, I actually just recorded a video that talked about this. I'm going to basically compare every model of Honda Goldwing to the most recent years from it. So, like, I'm going to make 2 videos about the 1100 Goldwing, right? I'm going to make one comparing it to the 1000, one comparing it to the 1200. And then, you know, I'm going to make a video comparing the 1200 and the 1500 and the 1500 to the 1800, right? And it would be really interesting to see, like, does the 1800 maneuver significantly better in slow speed situations like this? Is the 1200 better because it's lighter? Is the 2018 Goldwing better because it's even lighter and it's so much newer and smoother, right? So it's more streamlined. So that would be something really interesting to see. It would be fun to even run through, you know, I could, you know, if I have another Goldwing, I can have my brother take my 1000 through the advanced course. I take my 1500, and we really compare the difference, right?
Locked clutch will allow it to slip. I'm using my brakes, and this is where I'm moving.
Ooh, look at that.
In the seat, using body English, to help
do
control my balance.
With the front wheel like that. I'm usually pretty good at going nice and slow. Goldwings are nice and the weight is nice and low. Goldwings are so well balanced. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about the Honda Goldwing in the seating position, because you're in a seating position where you really feel like you have control of the motorcycle because you're nice and upright. You know, your feet are underneath you. You have really good control of the handlebars. I couldn't imagine doing really slow speed cutting maneuvers like that with like ape hangers or handlebars way down here, or like on a sport bike where you're like hunched forward. I couldn't even imagine that. It's the number one reason why I love the Honda Goldwing.
Remember to look where you want to go. Small amount of throttle, light brake.
Yeah, he's a beast, that's for sure.
Use counterbalancing to help you out on some of the smaller turns.
I'd love to see his entire class with all the Goldwings.
Slipping clutch and a little bit of throttle and body English through the seat.
Yep. Beautiful.
And that's how it's done.
Well, that's the seminar. I hope I've given you some good information that you can use. Remember, it's going to take a lot of practice on your part. When you practice, try to find an empty parking lot where you don't have to worry about traffic. And please don't put your co-rider on the back when you're practicing. Thanks a lot. Ride safe.
Middle
Have
Tennessee. I live in Middle Tennessee. Yeah. Mount Juliet. Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Gary Sanford is the... Man, this was uploaded 10 years ago. Man, I wonder if this guy has contact information. It would be so cool to reach out and actually talk to this guy. At Mount Juliet, that's only an hour from where I live. It's photographed and edited by Lance L. Lewis. Man, wow. Okay, guys. Let me know what you thought of that. Let me know if there's any other vintage motorcycle videos you'd like me to react to. I would love... There may be a couple more commercials that I react to. I'd love to see some commercials specifically for the GL 1200 or the 1100. And maybe even, I might even look at some stuff about the 2018 Goldwing and just how it switched from there. And it could be fun to react to some other people's reviews of Goldwings. I don't know. I don't really know about that, but I think reacting to some videos is fun. I think it mixes up the content a lot. You know, it's more content. It's more things to talk about. It's different content, and it's a little bit more relaxed, just sitting down, talking to you guys about motorcycles, right? So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.